And the prior receives him, and they sit down in his office, and Anselm says, I'm over here excavating at Sacsayhuaman, and I've heard about this legend of the Chincana, and I'm just curious if it's true. And the priest thinks about it for a minute, and he looks at Anselm and he says, yes, the legend is true. And then he says, would you like to see it? And Anselm is kind of in shock, like, yeah, of course. So the priest accompanies Anselm and a couple of his guys into the cathedral. They help him push an altar out of the way that's sitting there on the cathedral floor. And there's a trap door under this altar. They open the trap door. They descend down these stairs into a crypt, a colonial crypt. And as they're in the crypt, they notice that there's an opening that's been partially blocked off with bricks. And Anselm walked up to the opening and he asked the priest, what's this? And the priest said, that's the Chincana. And Anselm took his flashlight, flashed in there, and he saw the tunnel. And he said that the tunnel was lined with the same exquisite masonry as the temple above. And these are trapezoidal, you know, the doors, the Inca doors are trapezoidal, and the tunnel is trapezoidal. And it just went on endlessly. There was the Chincana. So Anselm said, this is great. The legend is true. I've got my team excavating at Sacsayhuaman. Let me go get them and bring them here, and we'll take these bricks down, and we'll go in, and we'll make this discovery and film it and everything. And suddenly the priest's his disposition changes on a dime, and he says, No. I should have never brought you here. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to see this. Get out. And he kicks them out of the church, out of the crypt and out of the cathedral. He just flips on a dime. Okay, so now Anselm knows that the legend is true. He's seen the tunnel with his own eyes. He knows that the most important artifacts of the Inca Empire, and who knows what else, is hidden under in the galleries beneath that ancient megalithic edifice. So ultimately, he gets permission, and I'm not going to go through how, but miraculously gets permission to excavate at the Coricancha. What's his objective? Well, he's got a public objective, which is whatever, but privately, his objective is to get into the Chincana, right? Brings his team, this is years later, like I believe the early 2000s,